Hello everyone, welcome to another process video today. As you can see, I'm going back to my Traveler's Notebook insert to work on that project again. If you saw my last process video, I was working in this same insert and I'm using photos from a local history and photo walk that I did with a friend last summer. So here is the next photo that I have to work with. And I've been doing this thing on each layout so far where I number the official spots that we had on the tour. So far, I've only done 1 and 2. So I'm really at the start yet. But this is number 3. This is Mickey's Diner. It's a very famous location in downtown St. Paul. It is seen in the movie The Mighty Ducks. So if you've ever seen that movie, they actually go in and eat here at Mickey's. And so I want to make sure that I get that in here somehow. I know I'm going to have to either place the photo or whatever paper I choose over this spot because I did have a little bleed through here from the previous page. So I stamped there and it did show through, and that's really common with Traveler's Notebook inserts, so I'm not concerned about it, but I would like to cover it up somehow. So once I figure out my paper and how I'm going to design this, I'll need to cover that up. Now, this last layout was a 2-pager. This is only going to be 1. This was really only the decent photo that I had. I had one other one and it came out kind of blurry. I was disappointed. But we were all sort of jostling for position, trying to get good shots of the building. So this is the only good one I have. So it's going to be a 1-pager. So it doesn't leave me a huge amount of room to do other things here, but I'll come up with something. For my Traveler's Notebook inserts, I keep a stash of paper that I've gotten from different kits that is sized to fit a standard insert. Some of these are a little bit big. Some of them come bigger than the 4x8 size, so I have to trim them down a little bit. I've done that here already. I went through this whole stash. This is what I picked out. This is a double-sided piece of heavy cardstock that was from a kit from Kelly Perky. And I really like this blue that has the white stars, but I think it's too much with this photo. There is some blue in there, but it just doesn't look right to me. I think it looks better this way. So I'm going to do it like so. I do need to trim down this photo. It's supposed to be 4x4, as you can see. It's actually a little short. It needs to be even shorter. I want more space in between the border of the photo with this paper, so I'm going to have to cut it down just a little bit. So I think I'm going to trim off another 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll start putting everything together. I've adhered the paper into the insert, and just doing that helped cover up that bleed through of the ink that I had, so that problem is taken care of now. And I think I'm going to actually put the picture a little bit more, not quite centered, but a little more to the top. And I think I'll probably do some kind of washi right here. Any journaling will take place down here. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet. I may just end up making lines, but I am going to look through some of my Project Life style cards to see if I have one that maybe has some lines already on it that might work and fit in this space. So I'm going to go do that stuff off camera and then I'll be back. In my stash of washi, I came across this roll, which I think will work well with the red that's in that photo. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the picture, and then I will put on the washi strip, and we'll see where that gets us. That'll at least help me with some placement, and then hopefully it'll kind of guide me in my next step. All right, so again, I didn't want it totally centered, but sort of, a little bit closer to the top. And now the washi. If I can find the start of it, there we go. Sorry, if you can hear that in the background, I have one cat who likes to lick plastic bags. I don't know why that is, because there's nothing on there that she would want, but she does it constantly, and she's doing it right now. So if you can hear that in the background, I apologize. I don't think it hurts her. She's been doing it for years, so I'm not going to yell at her. All right. So I want that, pretty much to the middle. like about so. Yeah, that looks good. And then as I'm looking at this, I'm wondering if maybe I'll end up stamping on here as well. I'd have to go through my stuff, but it looks a little blank up here. But again, it also depends what I put down here. So I have to figure out, do I want my journaling directly on this paper or do I want a card? So I will work on that next. Unfortunately, I did not find anything in my stash that I thought would work for the journaling area. So I just made my own lines. So here they are. They're not perfectly, spaced or anything. They're not totally perfect on the side. I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. And I will show you the pen. I should have kept it out, but here it is. It's a Zig Millennium, and it is the 03 that I used for this one. So it's right in the middle. It's not super fine. It's not super thick. So I tend to go a little bit finer on the lines because I want the journaling to be the bold aspect. So I would use the most bold tip to do the journaling, which I will do later. And then I decided I'm not going to stamp quite yet because I have to get a number 3 on here. So to continue on with using numbers to mark the stops on the tour, I've pulled these out again. These are from Studio Calico, as you can see right up there. And so I need a number 3, and I'm going to put it, as I did with the other ones, I'm going to overlap it just a little bit, I think, on the photo and then up here. So I will move on to that step now. So when I put on the number 3, I decided not only to overlap it a little bit on the photo, but also a little bit on the washi. And I really like the way that looks. So I'm happy with how that came out in the end. And I have to say, I kind of have a little fetish for cork embellishments. I don't know what it is. They're kind of a neutral color, so they go with a lot of things. And I just like the texture. And it's going to be hard to see, but when you look along the side of the page here, they're very thin. At least these are from Studio Calico. So they don't add a lot of bulk, which I really like, especially in a Traveler's Notebook insert, because look at how thick it's getting already. So I like that aspect of it. And if you've watched any of my other videos way back, I think there are 2 different videos that show me actually making my own cork elements, because you can buy this as a sheet. And then you can just use your punches to punch it out. You can put it through a die cut machine, pretty much whatever you want to do with it. So if you like the look of it, buying some sheets of that at a craft store is a really good investment. So keep that in mind if you're looking to make some embellishments on your own. As I was looking a little bit more at this layout, I decided that it needed something else, but I didn't want to stamp. I found this sticker that says "Remember This Moment." It's black and white, which is perfect because then it brings in the black of the journaling lines, and there's already a lot of white here, so that's pretty much always a good choice. And just so that you can see them, where did I put them? They're over here. These are stickers from a set from Pretty Little Studio. They're the On the Go line. I've used these a lot, and actually I've used them so much, and I love them so much that I ordered a second one. So you'll probably see these a lot in any process video that has to, do with going somewhere, exploring, things like that, because I just love them so much. So I think, though, that looking at this, that's all I'm going to do here. I'll do my journaling later, but since it's only one photo, this kind of takes up the page, and that's it. So this was a pretty easy one. So thanks for joining me today, everybody. See you later.